Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Talking Shop podcast. My name is Nick.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Taryn.
And what can you expect from us? Well, we're going to nerd out on all things running. And so you might notice we're sitting in a running store as we speak. And Taryn, why don't you tell us a little bit about where we are?
Who owns this store?
So, opened the store 2 years ago. Met you guys. You guys started showing up to group runs.
True.
I think so.
We did. Yeah, I had just. So
When
we're all.
When was your first group run?
November of last year, 2024. So we're in Snoqualmie, Washington. And for me, at least, I moved last year in November to this area with my family, and my wife and I really enjoy running. And we looked at the nearest running store and looked for some group runs. I remember actually emailing Taryn asking, "Are the group runs stroller friendly?" And you responded like within minutes. And so
back when I could answer emails quickly.
Yeah. So I showed up
I
and then
sent you an email. I remember too.
Did you?
I asked if you had a certain shoe in stock.
Did I?
You replied.
What was the shoe?
It was a North Face shoe.
Oh, did I have it?
Yeah.
Did you buy it?
I think it was the Endurus 3.
Oh.
No, I came in and
How
tried it
far
on.
we've come. We're on the Endurus 4.
Yeah.
This is true.
But
Memories.
yeah, so you and I, we showed up and for our first run, and then I remember being really stoked on just the community.
I was coming to group run before you though.
You were, yeah.
Because
Simmer
let's
down.
make that clear.
Simmer down.
From the first episode, gotta get that out in the air.
It's true.
I think I started in like September, I want to say. And yeah, everyone was just really nice. So I kept coming back.
And I remember looking on Strava and seeing like, oh, who did I run with? And I saw that this guy was really into shoes and gear from like creeping on Strava.
Yep.
And so I followed you, and we've been friends and running ever since. And now we're really good friends with Taryn.
Oh, it's true. Well, we all come from different backgrounds and experiences in running, and want to highlight a mix of what everyday runners are out there doing. We want to talk about hot topics in the running community, and for sure want to talk about gear.
Gear, shoes.
Gear. We love gear.
We got a little bit of gear.
We got
here.
the shoe wall behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we going to talk about today, Ryan?
In today's episode, we are going to chat through the challenges and bravery of opening a running store. We wanted to chat through a little bit on tariffs and kind of what that situation is like, maybe a little under the hood view into how tariffs impact small businesses. And we want to chat gear. So we're going to talk about the Norda 005 trail running shoe. And that's what the agenda is for today's episode.
Cool.
Yeah.
Should be good.
With that, Taryn, this is your store.
Sure is.
We want to ask you questions about it.
Let's hear it.
Like, why would you do it?
Yeah.
Why'd you
Why
do
are we
it?
here?
I don't know, man. If like anyone's familiar with the area, it's just the most active community. Like we are surrounded by so many trails. I
Yeah.
mean, like the PCT cuts
It's
through here.
a
you
gateway
know?
town.
It is a gateway. It's like you can't drive anywhere in this area without seeing people running.
You got to like vert, though.
You do. You do. We got a lot of rail trail though.
It's straight. It's either flat or you're
Yes,
climbing.
or up.
Yeah, there's no in between.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just was like, why not? I've been running forever. It drove me nuts that I had to drive a couple towns over to get shoes,
Yeah.
and it just felt weird to have such a sporty little mountain town and not have this kind of retail. So
This is 2 years ago.
Yep.
You've opened the shop. How long before then did you like have the idea to open a shop? Like how long before it became
like
an
the
actual
end
reality?
of January of 2023, I was kind of bored because you get slow. I do video production, so we get slow in the winter, and I was just like, well, let me just see. So from the end of January till middle of June, that was all the time it took to open this store. So what is that, 6 months?
Yeah.
So mad rush.
What?
It's
Way
fast.
more phone calls than I've ever wanted to have.
What were those like 6 months filled with? Like from
It's
wanting to open the store to like you open the store? What did you do?
It was more like I was like, well, let me just see if I can do it. And then people kept saying yes to me. And so I was like, I guess it's going to happen.
Just kept getting affirmed.
Yeah, because I only wanted to do it if I could open in Snoqualmie or North Bend. And then this building came up because it's like slim pickings for retail space out here.
Yeah.
And this space opened up. I'm like, oh, this seems so perfect. So
Did you look at a bunch of places, or this is like pretty much you knew right from?
I didn't like physically go to places because they weren't
hard,
big enough, or they were too big.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was scary because it was like, do you rent a place before you even have brands say yes, or do you need to have a place before you start asking brands to?
Yeah.
And so
join you?
what did you do? Did you like already commit to the place as you were like starting to reach out?
I don't remember. I think I had already just started reaching out first just to see. And I didn't know. I had zero experience. So I didn't even know how to approach brands. I was just like, hey.
How did you even find an email?
Yeah, like what did you just like reach out?
I mean, the internet is an amazing place.
You're just like,
So you were actually like cold
Hoka.
calling.
well, no, you
brands.
can, because you can get on websites and a lot of them will have wholesale, like a
Oh,
little
yeah,
link at the
yeah,
very
yeah.
bottom. And so then there's applications and there's contacts. So I just did a lot of that.
Do you remember who the first couple brands were that you reached out to?
Yeah, I first reached out to Hoka because how do you open a running store without Hoka? And they immediately said no. So I was like,
Did they
I
give a
kinda
reason
panicked.
for why?
They just weren't opening new retailers.
Okay.
And so I was just like, I don't know if I can do it without Hoka. Like, how do you do it without Hoka?
Yeah.
And I really paused, like, I didn't know what to do because that's huge. And I don't know because I'm stubborn. I don't know. But I just kept getting like responses back, and other brands were saying yes. Like Solomon was so great to me. Saucony said yes. Brooks said yes. You know, they were like Topo said yes. They just were. It was more yeses than nos.
And so when they say yes, like what does that mean as far as like let's set up a meeting and talk about what shoes and
First, it means here's the world's longest application. Give us all of your details. And then it goes from there. And then, you end up meeting with reps and looking at the lines. And
So they show you like the catalog and then you just pick.
yeah.
How-
It was
so-
it's a lot of in-person meetings.
Yeah.
So
From like, how did you come up with your original like list of brands for like who were you like, I want to open the shop with these brands, and like why were they those brands?
the main thing was that I've been running since I was 5 years old. So like
Dang.
running brands are so ingrained in me. It wasn't even like a research thing.
you just like knew who you're like.
I
all right,
just knew
yeah.
who they all
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
And then there's brands like Say Sky, who I saw out retail or apparel differently, because I was like, I want to bring stuff out to the valley that's never going to see the light of day out here. You know, like I want to bring brands to this area that we just don't get exposed to.
That's true.
I'm gonna be honest. I never heard of Say Sky until I saw it on the wall here.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say like for the folks that are unfamiliar with this shop, like you do carry a lot of the
Candy store.
yeah you do
There's
carry a
everything.
lot of the smaller, is that how you would describe those brands, but like
The
maybe
smaller niche
more
brands.
yeah
They're more European. I love a
Yeah.
European apparel brand.
but even like La Sportiva, we're talking about Norda today, Say Sky for apparel, you do like not your, it's not the brands that you'll go to like a Dick's Sporting
Yeah,
Goods or
Springland.
like an REI, like you are really the specialty brands, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well, it was more, I'm such an aggressive people pleaser that I was trying to find something for everyone.
Yeah.
So like my apparel, I try to have a price point for, low to high.
Yeah.
And then same with shoes, like every type of foot. Like I brought in barefoot shoes
Yeah.
and, so I'm just trying to accommodate as many people as possible because there's no other options out here.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I found the shop because I was looking for Speedlands and they listed you as a retailer.
Oh, yeah.
So I came in and then I started looking around. I'm like, you literally have like all of the shoes that I have like already.
I know
like,
that killed me because you came in with something. I'm like, wait, why do you
It was
already got
it was
Tectons and you
Tecton
didn't buy
3s.
them from me? Who are you? Who
Yeah, I
are
didn't
you?
get
By the
Mine
way,
was
there was a
$275.
happy ending for the Hoka story because now you do carry Hoka.
Yeah, so finally
Lots-
brought
lots
him
of
in.
Hoka.
Finally
Okay,
got
wait.
him in.
So, yeah, before we move on, what made them end up saying yes?
It was quite a battle. But it was this constant hunt to find a rep that I could directly connect to. And so that was like by speaking to other reps from different brands, getting contacts, and then just start the ball rolling. And then it's just, I mean, it was kind of ugly, honestly, but it was
Yeah.
just a fight for like, no, we're not near anybody else to compete with, you know, like,
Yeah.
like just trust me.
Like
There
what,
is an
REI,
audience out here.
Like REI is
Yeah.
the closest or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's way different too.
it is different. So it's like, I don't know. But I mean, I had reached out to a Trailhead Running Supply in Texas because they had opened about a year before me, and Hoka also didn't open with them. And so I had reached out to them, and I was like, hey, how's it going without Hoka for you? And they respond, they're like, it's good. It's hard sometimes, you know, because it's such an easy shoe to sell.
Yeah.
But like, you figure it out. Like Topo really kind of was the champion for us when Hoka wouldn't come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's ask a little bit more of the tougher questions. Let's see, what are some of the...
We're going to make you cry on episode 1.
What are some of the
cry every morning, actually.
challenges maybe that most folks are not aware of that you experience with either opening the store or just running the store in general?
Oh, it's a lot of spreadsheet work. It's a
Admin.
lot of admin work, and it's a lot of like engaging with the community takes up more time than you would ever imagine. Like just trying to
Oh.
participate in things and trying to put on events, and
Get
it's just
ticket signups.
yeah. So just like begging people to register for the things I'm trying to do for you, but like it's just like when I'm out here on the floor, it's great. It's fine. You know, like we're talking running.
That's like
But
a small
What's-
percentage
it's
of
such
what
a
you do.
small
Right?
of what I
Yeah.
can do. Yeah. Because you have to do your preseason orders twice a year, and that takes longer than you think. It's like I was working on my Hoka order last night for 3 hours. So it's like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
What, like, challenges aside, what's like the best aspect or like most rewarding?
Besides
Oh.
us.
No, it
Besides
is. It
these
is like,
two
you know, this
gentlemen.
community that's formed. Like the amount of people that follow each other on Strava that met each other from events from this shop is huge.
I literally started getting kudos.
Yeah.
The moment I came to group run, I started getting kudos, and I used to have 0 kudos
Oh,
before.
sad.
And I just ran
Literally
a
0.
50K with somebody that I met at your race, all right? Like, shout out Brady. But
Yeah.
we met at his race, or your race, and we ran the
It's
Sun
just
Mountain 50K
funny,
like 2 weeks ago.
That's when I did a tiny poll when I was opening the store just to be like, what brands do you guys want? And what do you want in this experience? And people were like, we just want a community, like a central
Yeah.
community. And that's what it takes a lot of work, but like it's slowly getting there. Like even group runs from when we first started to now with you guys. I mean, we made it through the whole winter. We didn't have to even cancel them.
Not
you know,
once.
like people, you guys keep showing up.
I think we went straight like January 1st to now. Like we've not missed one.
I know,
so
and
far
it's
this
like
year.
a good amount of people that still like last
And
night.
they're,
I was like,
like-
is anybody showing up? But then a huge group shows up.
And it's fun because I feel like there's like the regulars now.
Yeah, there's a
Like,
bunch of
there's-
regulars.
And there's a lot now.
Yeah.
It's really fun to see everyone
Yeah,
show
everyone
up every week.
If you're not coming out, you should come out.
Wednesday,
It's a good
6
time.
p.m.
We're
we
so friendly.
meet at the shop.
And you can walk or you can bring a stroller
Dogs.
and bring your children. You can even bring your reactive dogs. Like, it's just like such a chill group, and it's so non-competitive. And I think like joining running groups is so intimidating,
Yeah, it
but
can
like
be.
like we are so non-competitive.
Running with other people is so intimidating
Yeah.
because you're like, wait, how am I supposed to run and talk and breathe at the same time? It's like a learned skill.
It's true.
But
This is a whole other episode though.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, do we want to shift gears and we talk about like a hot topic right now, especially
Yeah.
in the running scene?
Yeah.
And that is, I guess, just like even outside of the running scene, just in everyday life, and that
Yeah.
is tariffs and how they specifically are impacting small businesses in running, whether that's if you're owning a shop or if you're owning a running related brand.
And I
Yeah.
feel like it makes sense. Like our gear pick, like shoe review today is the Norda 005. I myself don't know a ton about tariffs. Obviously, it's in every headline. But what stood out to me was the morning I got an email from Norda that said they were stopping shipping to the U.S. because of the tariff situation. So I think it's a hot topic.
Yeah.
And you probably get a sense and see behind the scenes, like how it unfolds. Whereas we kind of like, I don't know, sometimes you can notice price differences and whatnot, but
Yeah, I guess like I have a bunch of questions, and I guess my question to you is like, how does it affect you as like an owner of a running store first?
Yeah. I mean, so it's going to, for right now, it's really everything is in flux, right? Like, I mean, immediately in April, I had a brand say, hey, the tariffs hit. Please jack up your prices to this. And then 2 weeks later, something changed, and like, never mind, take them back down.
yeah.
So, you know, like, there's been a lot of just like emails all the time from, because there's so many brands in here and everybody's doing something different. And it's
Yeah.
like, at what point, like, the cost, they're trying to do a trickle down effect of pricing, right? So it's like they're going to eat some and then we need to eat some, so our wholesale cost is more, and then that gets passed on to the consumer, who's now your price is more.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just impacts how we order. And like when Norda shut their ordering off, they're like, hey, you better do some last minute ordering here because you can get one more order in. So then that like changes your whole budgeting, because you weren't expecting to have to do this
Yeah.
order, you know, and not knowing when we would be able to ship again or order again. It's like, well, I better get them in now, because who knows what's happening. So it just like a trickle down effect. It's all money. It's all financial burden on everybody.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Well then, Ryan, like, how much does that affect these prices? What do we like? Are they going up like 10 to 15? Like, is it?
Yeah, like the Brooks Ghost went up 10. They're kind
Dollars
of
or percent?
$10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, I guess Ryan, as a consumer, and I guess I'll use the word addict of shoes and gear, running related gear.
Non-recovering.
How does that impact your decisions with like when you're I guess that
Well,
deter you away from
it's so hard to know, I think, as a consumer, because that relies upon the consumer keeping track of what like retail was before, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if a Brooks Ghost shoe was 150 versus 160. Like,
That's
true.
For every shoe.
Like, when does sticker shock kind of set in? Because shoes
Yeah.
are so expensive these days.
And I mean,
know?
literally the shoe we're talking about is a $325 shoe.
Right.
So like,
the Norda.
at one point, the Norda 005, at one point that was like, that's insane. That's like ridiculous. But now on these like other brands, like an everyday trainer, to see it go up $10, I don't know that the 150 to 160 price jump like stands out. So it's like, I feel like there's a lack of awareness, because that's, as a consumer, you have to know that like happened.
Yeah. I'm trying to be very transparent, but at the same time, like, the information we're getting from the brands is so non-committal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we're getting spreadsheets and stuff of this is what the new price is going to be when this launches. But it's like, how much is that just an excuse to raise the price versus is that tariff really impacting you? Because that tariff price has changed again already.
And do you think,
Yeah.
like, if they've raised it, like, say $10 and the tariff situation improves, like, can you see them coming down in price?
They won't.
Right? They're going to
They
remain
won't
at
come
that
down.
price
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Which
And
is
it's,
like,
I mean, honestly, the way the technologies are and the foams, these shoes are increasing every time they.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
fair.
slowly, like,
Yeah.
with or without tariffs, like they're
Yeah.
I know Nike raised like across all of their shoes like another $10 to $15. You mentioned who else has definitely
Brooks?
Brooks is for sure. I mean, they've all signed a letter though to be granted exemption from the tariffs, which is wild to me because they've still already increased your prices, and you know it's like.
So is it more benefit to the corporation then at that point rather than the consumer because you've already raised the price?
So they're raising prices in preparation for these tariffs, but they're at the same time battling and filing for exemption so that they don't have to
Right.
pay
But
these
then,
tariffs.
The likelihood of them dropping the price.
So, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I personally feel like some of that burden, the bulk of the burden should be on the billion-dollar company versus passing it down to small business and the consumer. Because I will not sell a $200 Ghost or Clifton. Like if that day ever comes, I'm done. I'm tapping out because that's not okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have a ton of $200 shoes here, but you know, like a neutral trainer, I'm not doing it.
No,
I just don't think it's right.
right.
And we'll see. Like, it's going to be hard to sustain a small business in this political environment we're in. But, I mean, the smaller shoe brands, too, they're
That's what the smaller kind of niche brands that, like, have, you know, 3 people behind the scenes working. Like, how does it impact them?
Yeah.
And, like, how do they survive this?
Yeah. You can't just open up a factory over here, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was reading. Like people, because a lot of the work to manufacture these shoes happens, you know, in China, Vietnam. And then they were looking. I read an article about the Atreyu shoe. I think they're out of Texas. How he was trying to find a way to make the shoe in the U.S., but then he was just like the cost of labor, cost of materials.
I think it was like
for him.
It currently costs him like $40 to make a shoe, but then it would cost him $100. And it's like, so his margin, if you sell that standard trainer at 150, 160 range, and like generally that brand is like a more affordable brand.
Yeah.
So like what, he's going to make $30 a shoe.
Yeah.
So I have one more question on the Norda, because we're going to talk about that shoe in just a minute. They stopped shipping to the U.S. for a bit. I think Ryan and I we can talk about this. We were both impacted by that when we were ordering new shoes. But they recently announced that they are returning, or at least resuming their shipping to
like
the US.
A week ago, I think they just resumed.
What do you think? Like, could that change again?
Because I know they did adjust enough things that.
So they're not taking so much of a hit. Who knows if they're still taking like a tariff hit, but like enough. It's like affordable to them to like, or maybe it's like the ROI, right? Like they can start shipping again and they'll make as much as
So I mean, there's just a lot going on in the background. I mean, the tariffs in April were like 130%.
Yeah,
so there was a ton of panic.
Yeah.
And like they had to shut it down and figure out how do we maintain our business.
Yeah, right.
And so I mean, now they've dropped back down to like 30 and 10. And so it's all still negotiating. So it's just like I don't know what's going to happen, but they just released a sandal. So it's like
008. Do you understand the number sequence? What it is?
No.
Do you?
No, people.
They have the 1,
it's
2,
the Fibonacci
3,
sequence,
5, 8.
Which is that's why it's so weird and out of order because it goes 01, 02, 05, 08, and then whenever they release the next one, it'll be 013.
Oh.
Because it's the. Don't quote me on. That's a copyrighted line from another podcast. I can't remember exactly what the Fibonacci sequence is. It's like 1 + 1 is 2, so that's why they have the 1 and 2. 2, you know what? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the Fibonacci sequence, though. Yeah. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, basically the numbers prior add up to the next model.
Right. Oh.
So 8 and 5, 05 and the 08, the sandal together is 13. So the next model will be the 013.
Okay.
Fun.
We'll see.
Whatever you say.
We'll see.
Yeah. So today we thought kind of going with the small brands related to the tariff discussion, that we review one of the shoes that their most recent shoe that's actually out and you can buy today, which is the 005, which we have here.
March 15 release.
Yeah, so I have the tech sheet in front of me, or spec sheet, I guess is what you would call it, and just some stats or some specs around this shoe. So it's the upper is made with a open weave Dyneema. And I will say that it is bulletproof. That thing's like Kevlar.
Yeah, so
very,
I
very
also
strong.
feel like it's important to note, I think Norda is like, they're pretty known for using Dyneema in all of their shoes.
It's super durable.
Because of its durability. I think the stat is it's like 4 times or 10 times stronger than steel, which I don't fully know how a fabric becomes stronger than steel, but that's the marketing.
You know, it's in the laces too, right?
It's in the
Oh, really?
laces.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Full
So
upper and the laces,
Yeah,
all
the-
Dyneema.
the upper and laces Dyneema. So it's a 7mm drop. There's 28.5 millimeters in the heel with a 21.5 in the forefoot. 4mm lugs, and it's made with this exclusive. I don't know if you want to like hold it up, but it's made with this exclusive Vibram. I think it's the only shoe on the market that's rocking this Vibram, which is called Mega Grip Elite Sole Plate, with some interesting Tetris designed lugs. And then the midsole, which I think is what really makes this
I
thing
love
shine,
this
is
midsole.
some TPEE foam.
Arnatel.
Yep.
So the interesting thing I think about the foam with this shoe is supposedly it is made in the same factory as Adidas Tariffs Light Strike Pro foam. And apparently Light Strike Pro foam is also a TPEE foam, which that's what this foam is. And so basically the assumption is that they're basically the same foams. They're made by the same factory, same type of foam. And like I've run in both foams and they feel very similar.
They do
you
feel,
agree?
yeah, they feel similar. Like I've run in the Adidas Pro line for the road shoes, the 3, and I haven't run in the 4 yet, but it feels very like the Evo SL. That foam feels very soft,
Even
but
like
responsive.
to touch, they feel very
Yeah.
similar in terms of like softness.
The last thing I'll just point out before we talk about our experiences with it is that it does come with 2 insoles.
Yeah.
There's a race insole, and then which I think is just it says 1 molded, 1 die cut for ultimate weight reduction. And so I personally can't tell the difference. I've tried both.
My wife literally threw out the second insole that came with
the
it.
race one.
Yeah,
Oh.
I never got to try it because I like left the box out on my car and she thought it was recycle, and so
But you got a new one on the way.
I do. So
Sure.
I will.
Yeah.
I will get to actually
Yeah.
test it and see
So-
what that's like. I think, before we talk about experience, the last thing I would note, which will lead into experience, is the heel structure of this shoe because it's a little different, and like a lot of race day shoes are doing it now, where it's the minimal padded heel. I think they say you can get a more like dynamic fitted lock-in with that type of heel, but basically it's non-structured, and then it has these little like suede bumps.
The little pillows.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting for like an ultra marketed shoe, I think, because for hours and hours like out on the course, I kind of would want heel and structure. So I thought I'm seeing it a lot though. Like Tecton X3 is that way. All the Terex Agravic shoes have that minimal heel. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
the shoe.
I guess we'll talk about our experiences with it. Taryn, do you want to go first?
Mine are 0.
Yeah.
I can't wear Norda. I have quite a high arch, and I just don't feel
Yeah.
supported in it.
I think
It
like
doesn't work for me.
Ryan could probably talk to like the other line that Norda has.
I've ran in every Norda
Yeah,
shoe.
but
Yeah.
they are I would say more flatter, accommodating shoe. So if you have a
Yeah.
wide foot like I do,
Yeah.
Or high arches.
it's definitely accommodating.
somebody with high arches.
But yeah, maybe
There's
not.
no support
Yeah,
if you
maybe
have an
not
arch.
for high arches. Like it's a very almost
It's a
flat.
very flat.
It's a very flat
Yeah.
platform.
which is why it works great for me.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a lot of ground feel in the 5?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, it's so squishy.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've tried the 01, the 02, and obviously the 05. 02, hands down, I mean, it's the most ground feel. It's like
Yeah.
a more technical, the stat, I think it's 19.5 stack in the heel compared to 28.5. So it's like almost 10 millimeters.
we can't forget about the weight of the shoe, which is something we missed.
The weight is
That is
insane.
Probably.
And I think that's the biggest
Yes.
like marketing
yeah. So
like ploy of the shoe is it's just all marketed around how lightweight it is. And I remember that's when I was like, are you getting in the Norda 05? And you're like, yeah, I'm bringing it in. And I was like, have you seen it? You're like, yeah, I got to see it at like TRE. And I'm like, how lightweight is it? And you're like, I mean, it's It's a shoe.
Yeah.
Do you know how many shoes I had to hold
Yeah,
at TRE?
true.
Like, I don't freaking remember.
It's like wine tasting. You just
they had it all deconstructed too, all in pieces.
Oh, that's cool. It's 7.5 ounces for a men's size, US 8.5,
Yeah.
which is really, really light. Like, I think I can't name a lighter trail shoe on the market right now. And so, yeah, so as far as experiences go, I have put, it's funny, 'cause I think Ryan and I have different experiences, but almost the same end result. I put probably 50-ish, 60-ish miles in this shoe. I raced a 50K almost out of the box.
Immediately.
Yeah, like I put 5 miles on it, and I was like, dang, this shoe is this is legit. So I raced the Chuck and Nut this year, 2025, in this shoe. The weather was horrendous. Mud, rain, snow, and the shoe did great. It was perfect. The traction, I know people question the outsole. I had no issues with the outsole, and it was muddy, slipping around. Like, I didn't fall once. However, the one problem that I did have with this shoe was that heel. I didn't really notice it too much in the race, but after the race, I didn't bring my pair here, but the back here is red because it rubbed my heel raw to where it was bleeding, and I had to wear sandals to work for like a week because I couldn't wear normal shoes. So I had that problem, but I will say, like, this shoe is definitely in a league of its own. Like, I don't think there's any other shoe in the market that feels like this shoe, at least from a trail.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a road super shoe to me. And so it's got really that going for it. I just think it's made for a certain type of foot anatomy, I guess, like someone that doesn't have a big heel, or I guess I have a very triangle shaped shoe or foot, so I have a pointy heel that maybe causes a little bit of a problem. What
Did
about
you feel like that would go more than 50K? Like, would you want to take that on a longer?
If I didn't have, like, towards the end of the
heel
race,
aside.
yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, if I wasn't having heel problems, I would take this forever. Like, the foam, everything else was like, if I could rate every other feature of this shoe, it'd be like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The heel would be like
Just
a
that
2.
little bloody heel.
Yeah. And I started to feel it really at the end of that 50K. Like, I didn't really feel it too much, but during the race, the last like 3 or 4 miles, I was like, something's rubbing and it's hurting a little bit. And so it ended up being a lot worse like a couple days after. How about you?
Yeah, I have like 90 miles in the shoe now. So I've done everything from short runs to, I think I've got marathon distance in this shoe. Like you said, our experiences have been different. You've probably gotten a bunch more, like, more technical terrain than I have, like true trail running. I've done a lot of gravel running with it, a couple like true trail runs. But like, oddly enough, my experience kind of matches yours. I had the same issue with the heel. I don't know. I did a day, maybe a 10-miler, and I just could feel like that kind of pinch in the heel.
Was it wet out?
No.
Was it raining? Oh,
No.
so
It was for me. And I actually
Yeah.
do think that maybe had something to do with it. Like, some mud and
No.
grit got kind of stuck between the heel and my foot. But
I've had it rubbed. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just the way that heel,
yeah.
minimal heel is designed. However, I have managed to remedy it, which you, I don't think necessarily have, but I just found, like, wearing a midweight and gingy sock.
Yeah.
I literally don't have it rub at all.
you don't
whenever
tape
I
your
wear it.
heels either. It's
I
just a
don't
sock.
tape. I don't have moleskin. It is just my foot, that sock, and this shoe, and it stopped rubbing.
So the Norda socks didn't help?
No, fun story. I write a blog, and I blogged about the shoe and my issue with it, and so yeah, Norda. I mean, shout out to Norda. They do have great customer service. Like, they've been really helpful. But yeah, they read my posts and they were like, "Oh, you need to wear different socks," which I'm like, that's weird and interesting. I've never been told that
Because
before.
you were in merino.
I was wearing merino socks, and like,
Didn't they say no merino?
yeah, they said apparently merino with Dyneema is not a good combination, which I don't fully understand because the heel is not Dyneema.
Oh.
It's that like suede on the inside. So yeah, they actually shipped me out a pair of Norda socks and a soft flask, which is cool. It was very thoughtful and nice.
That's cool.
But unfortunately that sock they sent out did not fix it.
But the Gingy sock did.
Their Norda socks are like really, really thin, but
Oh,
that more padded Gingy sock like has fixed it for me.
Yeah.
So I haven't had issues on any of my long runs. Like I did 26.3 in this shoe with no heel rubbing. So
You had to add that 0.3 just to go 1 point more than a marathon.
Oh, you did your ultra already.
Yeah, there you go.
You did your ultra.
Yeah, I'm an ultra runner by a 1/10 of a mile.
Well, speaking of, like, you have a race coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Right? 50K?
We head out tomorrow for it.
Yep.
Echo Valley,
Yeah,
Lake
yeah.
Chelan.
What shoe are you wearing?
90 degrees.
This shoe, I'm actually, it's going to be hot.
Rolling the dice.
I'm taking the 005. Pretty much since I fixed that heel issue, it's kind of like Nick. Now it's kind of just like, it fits my foot so well. I've got like a wide-ish foot, and I have a really hard time. One of the reasons I buy so many shoes is because so many don't work out for me.
Yeah.
So it's just experimentation, and this one just like width in the toe box, like width in the midfoot, all around fits my foot really well. And it's really comfy.
Yeah.
I love that foam. So
And I think the other thing that we didn't touch on, but we should, is kind of a good and a bad, or bad and a good, is that Ryan, as far as durability goes with this shoe, the upper is extremely durable. Like, you can see in Ryan's, like, you have what, 90 you said?
this
It's
is my
like
shoe.
no wear in the upper. However, the heel in the midsole, for both of us, started to peel off. I didn't bring my pair, but the back heel of this, I guess you have it on yours, but it's starting to come apart
Let me see that.
from the top of the upper.
Don't mind the super glue.
Oh, it is very super
You glued
glued.
them.
Crispy.
Yeah. So I wrote an email, and so did Ryan, to Norda's customer service, just because I have like 50 miles in it. And for the shoe, it's like $325 shoe. I was just like, hey, is this expected? Like, what can I do to fix this?
Yeah.
And they were like, shout out to them. They responded a day later, and they were like, oh, like that should not happen. We're going to send you a new pair. But that was, going back to our tariff conversation, like that was in the middle when they had stopped shipping to the U.S., so we had to wait.
Yeah. Did you get them yet?
No, they should be here
They're
tomorrow.
supposed to be here
Or
tomorrow.
today, mine says, but mine's still
Ooh.
somewhere in the middle of the U.S.
They let you keep your super glued ones?
They
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, keep that in mind too. If you are hard on shoes, and again, like you don't want to have to worry, you want just like a bulletproof shoe, like this one might not be. You're kind of rolling the dice for that much money.
Yeah.
I will say, like, to be fair, this is such a consistent issue with any brand.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the heel.
I've
Like
actually
anything. Like the foam, because of the way they're constructed, like there's the bottoms fall off. Like they all have the same warranty problems.
Yeah, they
you
do.
know, there's just, I mean, it's pieced together. It's gonna have flaws.
It's
Yeah.
glued. They use
it's
glue.
glued.
Yeah.
So
I had the same exact issue in the Tecton 3s, like the midsole coming off the upper.
Huh.
Same exact thing. So it is not specific to just them.
no,
And it's
so
a
hit or
race
miss.
shoe. Like
Yeah,
the
it
purpose of the
is.
shoe is a race shoe. Like we like just run in we're kind of spoiled. We like run in race shoes for everyday training.
Yeah.
I
But
think that the way they market it is it's for races. So like
It's not a one
It's
and
not like
done.
that Adidas $500 shoe that's like this is for one race and
Yeah.
one race only. It's like
can I see a 001 if you can able to reach that? I just want to see how that compares to. Yeah. So
yeah, I think like if you're looking for durability, 001 is like gonna be more durable.
Man, this foam is so different than this
That
foam.
shoe's been out since 2021,
Yeah.
and like historically, people get like 1,000 miles out of that shoe.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, people love the Nordas.
but yeah,
They work for you. So
I gotta ask, are you guys excited for the recovery slide?
I mean,
at first
yeah,
I wasn't, and then I sat with it for a little,
Yeah.
and then you were like, "Should I bring it in?" And I was like, "I kind of want it."
Yeah.
I
you bringing it
also
in?
Yeah, 3 colors.
nice.
yes. I feel like I have every
You
Norda
have
model.
the Norda without the laces. What number is
I've
that?
got the Norda
3.
dad shoes, the 03s.
The 3s,
They're
yeah.
my mow the lawn, do yard work dad shoes.
$300 lawn mowing shoes.
I just disclaimer I didn't pay that much.
Yeah.
I got them on sale, but I feel like I have to at this
You
point.
got a Norda foot.
I like what Norda's doing.
Yeah.
Like
I do.
as far as like what their style, how they're innovating. Like again, this shoe, I think other reviews have said like it really is in a league of its own. There's no other shoe that I can compare this shoe to other than like a road super shoe. Honestly, there's no plate. We didn't mention that. There's no plate in the shoe. It's one of the kind of a trendy
It's like
thing.
a super non-plated shoe.
Yeah. So I do look forward to seeing what Norda like. I hope.
Do you know when the slides like
This month?
they
Oh
come out
really?
this
Is that
month?
soon?
They get here in the shop this month?
In
Wow.
June, yeah.
It's crazy. They like just put out an
Could have used
Instagram
them
ad
for
about
this
it.
weekend.
I know. Hopefully I don't know. Have you heard anything yet about the width of them? Because it's not an adjustable slide.
I
so-
hope wide. I mean, if it's
Yeah.
going like if it's like the
I
other
think
shoes
if
are
it-
wide.
That's
Yeah,
true. They're pretty
they-
forgiving
yeah.
toe boxes.
I think you said it's similar to like the 01 and 05 sizing, right?
Yes.
is what
Like, well,
they're
to
saying.
size up. They say size up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good disclaimer too about this shoe is
That's
the
true.
sizing for Norda.
Yeah.
I want to say in the 01s, and I think it's across the board. They recommend like a half size up.
Yeah.
So I've got a half size up in this shoe.
So it's
I'm
like a
normal
16.
12. This is a 12 and a half.
Big shoe.
Yeah. So definitely
It's a lot of
know
shoe.
your Norda size. It's otherwise
But if you don't know it, come try them on.
come try it on.
Come try it
There's
on. We've got
every
a
model here
1, 2, 5.
except for grandpa dad shoes
I just
are not
couldn't
here.
do it. Couldn't do it.
All right. Well, that's what we have for today's convo. What else do we have? Like, what else are we excited about? Like to talk about in
So many
future episodes.
things. I mean, it's selling season for next spring. There's some cool stuff coming out for sure.
Yeah.
Tariffs is looking good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like a
I
Tariff
know.
shoe.
I think
Yeah.
you were in like a bunch of brand meetings or something, right?
Yeah. That's the one that's really stuck in my head.
Tariffs?
Yeah.
What give me 3? Like what are the 3 that you're like most excited for the and these are like
Oh.
next year?
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
so you said I guess we'll say
Oh.
Hoka
What's
you're
the
excited
shoe from
for.
Tariffs?
Well,
Tariffs.
the what is it? Zenol 3. That's coming out.
Oh,
That's
cool.
a Hoka, right?
That's a
Yeah.
faster shoe, right? Like
I'm
a lower
excited
stack.
for that because it's a low stack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be good. But yeah, I'm not gonna say the name of the Tariff shoe coming out because it's
Yeah.
in flux right now.
Okay.
But it's non-plated. It's like a more stable version of the Ultra.
Oh.
Agrovec Ultra,
Yeah.
Speed Ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hoka,
We like-
Terex,
we don't like
And
love it.
Agility Peak 6
nice.
A
Yeah.
shop favorite.
from Merrill.
Underrated shoe for
It
sure.
is so underrated.
Yeah. If you have high arches.
Yeah,
that's your
high
shoe.
arches and you like a rock plate and you need an Ultra shoe. There
That's
she
your
is.
shoe.
Solomon's looking good too.
You're building your Agility Peak army.
It's such a small army. I can't peer pressure hardly
I always
anyone
die
into
if
that.
I'm like eavesdropping and I see you
It's so
recommend
embarrassing.
when you recommend I just kind of
Because
like
I can rarely recommend it because nobody wants like.
but when you do I know it brings
people
you
want
so
cushion.
much joy.
it,
And I think like the name Merrill still like people associate that with hiking, but I do
Yeah.
think this year they have like that Skyfire. Like I feel like they've really stepped up their game. Their Matrix
the
uppers.
technical
Yeah.
Yeah,
trail
like I
shoes.
do think Merrill is
it's someone to watch.
a watch
for
for
sure.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
I think other than that, good luck at your
Yeah.
50K.
First 50K.
And
Thanks, I need those recovery slides already.
yeah.
Jeez.
And if you're in the Snoqualmie area, there is a race
Yes.
June 22nd.
It's a party.
It's
It's
yeah,
a birthday party.
It's a birthday
it's
party.
a
2 years
rager.
old.
You get so many free things. So many brands are coming.
Oh,
like I don't
really?
know how to.
Free?
They're bringing so many freebies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tons of great
And I'm
brands.
like notorious for giving things away.
She
so
is.
like
I can
just come
attest.
run 4 miles downhill.
It's a downhill
Yep.
race.
Downhill and you can leave with items.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, so you go on the website,
Yeah.
which is
Snoqualmierunning.com.
there you go.
Boom.
And then there's a section for it. It has all the brands that you've listed.
Yeah.
It has
It'll be
everything.
fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It'll be good. It'll be a good party. Come out.
Yeah.
Come celebrate. And then yeah, I guess anything else?
No, maybe no. This
No.
is episode
that's
1. Let us
episode
know what
1.
you want to talk about.
Yeah. I think we're
Yeah.
this is the first episode. We clearly love talking about all things running. We hope to talk about more gear in the future. We also hope to bring on some guests that are
Yeah,
doing some
talk to
pretty
cool people.
rad
Just some
things.
chatting.
Yeah,
Yep.
so some
Yeah.
interviews with some maybe people that you know and follow, maybe some people that you don't, that are still doing awesome things. And yeah, let us know what else you want to hear from us. We're definitely open to the feedback, and we'll see you in the next one. We need like an outro. Like,
Yeah.
We'll get one.
Thanks
where
for
can you
watching
find us?
Talking Shop.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan.
I'm not doing that. I'm just closing my eyes. This is Ryan, everybody.
this is Ryan.
I'm
All
Ryan.
right.
And
How
Ryan
do
only.
podcasts end? I never make them to the end.
It's just like, all right, I think we got through everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
see you in
it.
the next one.
Yeah. See you on the next one. Later.
See ya.